Listen for a doom. Whoa. That's gonna tell the story. Oh, that boy good. Alright guys, we're on the road on our way to PA out by Pittsburgh. The end destination is Seven Springs, Pennsylvania, and Seven Springs ski resort, whatever, for a Total Archery challenge. Tonight we got to get to Somerset, where we're going to stay in a hotel about 20 miles from the event. Then we're going to get up early. We're going to get out there in the John Dudley VIP group at 7 a.m. before the crowds and the lines and people get there. We're going to start shooting the course early. First time doing a Total Archery challenge. I'm pretty excited, but at the same time I'm pretty nervous because I'm doing the Nock On challenge, the Nock On course, which is the hardest course of all the courses. It was a 4-hour and 15-minute drive. We are an hour in thus far, and we're just gonna drive down this long country highway. It's this one road the whole way to the hotel. So I look forward to getting out there tomorrow, shooting the course, meeting some of the vendors and shop owners and different people that's out there. Rob Shalinsky, the guy who's invited me out, who actually sets up the Total Archery Challenge. He's part of the Total Archery Challenge that travels around, and with G5 Outdoors. He actually got me my first sponsoring outdoors with Overtime, what, a couple years ago. And we stayed in contact since. So, be good to finally meet this guy and hang out with John Dudley and meet some fans. I'm sure that'll be out here to notice me. I know one guy that's a fan already messaged me, said he'll be here with his friends. So other than that, it's gonna be a good, fun little Sunday fun day, as you can say. But I'm about to finish this drive off and finish listening to this Joe Rogan and George St. Pierre. Alright folks, so we up and at 'em. Heading to Seven Springs Resort for the TAC Total Archery Challenge. Got the PSC tuned up, my arrows, everything set, ready to go. I got Nick on the cameraman, on the camera. As the cameraman, we out here hitting these back roads on the way there. Pretty excited, pretty nervous at the same time. It's a beautiful morning. It is 6:30 and the sun is already up. The fog is dying down, so it's coming down off the top of the mountains. I'm excited to get there. So get there, get registered, meet up with John Dudley and the rest of the crew there at the Nock On trailer and tent. And we're gonna get up to the top of that mountain. So, see you guys when we get there. Yeah, they got parking wall with that.
No, this is awesome out here. It's beautiful.
We ain't finna be here for no 5 hours. You hear that? We exiting at 3.5. This ain't no golf. It's like golf for 18 holes. At the point you just pack the clubs, so we out.
Alright, what's up, Pat?
Everybody coming back down. Go ahead and shoot a few with them. Alright guys, so here we are. We did a few at the practice. Shot up to 99 yards. Hit the target, wasn't a 12 ringer, but I'll take it. Warm up the shoulders. We just met Frank. We hung out with Rob. We met Sean, the owner, the person that set all this up. But here we are at the start. As you see, the Nock On course. Supposed to be shooting my man Dudley. You can see his truck behind us, but he was already up here doing some filming, some stuff. So we're gonna catch up with him as we're heading down the range. But we're up here by ourselves. We got about a 30-minute head start. So if we miss, we got a little bit of time to find the arrow. But we won't be getting rushed by other hunters and shooters. With that being said, let's get into the adventure. We got this PSC NXT Evo, or Evo, ready to go. Got my STOKERIZED, got my COBRA, got my arrows, pack full of Maven, and my water. Let's hit it. $35, I'm going down here if I want to shoot it. Ooh, we in there. I look like a 10, or at least a heart shot. Ooh, got a few broken arrows in here. Oh, he didn't even make it into sight. It would have killed him, but how the hell was you supposed to hit this with a tree in front of it? Oh well. Well, a 12, but a 10. I'll take it. Second hole. I'm looking up at the top of the mountain. Listen for a doom. Whoa. That's gonna tell the story. Oh, that boy good. I don't know where I hit, but I hit. More center. These tricky son bitches. Boom! Goes the dynamite. Trying to be like you. I'm trying to shoot my best.
You're doing this course in overtime.
Yeah, man.
Getting after it. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Good, good, good. What do you think so far?
So far, it's pretty dope. Only missed the armadillo. Just I was gray the top. Just
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but I hit him for the next shot.
That's awesome.
All right, so we at the cliff shot at what's this, range 10. He up to 10 shot. John posted on his channel, on his YouTube, whatever. You see the cliff. He's gonna show us about like using the hips, you aiming with your hips and not your arms.
Yeah, so this is like a very, very common field archery shot. So internationally, field archery is one of my favorite formats because it's so technical, and things like this are super technical. This shot doesn't have a long distance, but in competition, on this particular length shot, we'd be aiming at a bunny target. So it'd be about the size of a quarter. And honestly, you would have 3 shots here, or depending on the type of field format, even 4, and you need to shoot 4 quarters to, like, if you're in the pro class, you better clean up right here. Bunnies, they're called bunnies or birdie shots, they make or break it. So you're aiming at a quarter at this distance. So this is about 25.5 yards, but with this angle, we're actually gonna be shooting it for 21.5. So it's a 5-yard cut. If you didn't do that and you're aiming at something the size of a quarter, 1 arrow that far off, you'd be out of the tournament, flew to Croatia or wherever for nothing. So yeah, the key here is technicality, and there's going to be a couple things to think about. One, we do have a little bit of a side hill, so once we draw down on this, your top limb's going to want to lean over, and as soon as you lose your bubble, you know, if that bubble starts to bury to the right, your arrow's going to always follow your limb tip. So as soon as that limb tip starts to fall over, your arrow is going to go that way too. And the key is obviously anchor position, and, you know, front sight, rear sight acquisition is like critical. So in this situation, make sure you got good footing, which we actually do. This is nice. I always just tip my top limb about half of a bubble into the slope, so that once I draw and come down, gravity will level it out a little bit easier for me. Obviously, second and third axis on your sight, like you'd be missing without even missing on your shot if that wasn't correct for your bubble. But we're gonna draw, anchor first, front sight, rear sight acquisition, get a perfect center on front sight, rear sight, and then pivot at the waist. And obviously, whenever you change your angle, it's a little bit harder to pull through your shot properly, so you really have to focus on committing to the follow through, even more so once you start shooting up and downhill. Because if the shot goes off and you just stop and you quit, a lot of times you send that string in a slightly different direction than when you're shooting flat, and it can change the direction of your arrow. So you want to do it first, or you want me to do it?
You lead by example.
I like it. Just make sure they haven't moved this guy. There it is. One of the things that makes this tough, Corey, you look down there, it's so dark, right? Mm-hmm. So in this case, I'll give you a little tip. Like in this case here, step up here to the cone. So if you look down there with your binoculars, go ahead and take a look down there. It's really hard to see the scoring rings. Mm-hmm. But if you can make them out, which I can make out the scoring ring, so I might utilize a different object to actually aim off of. So in this case, there's that green leaf that's in front of the target, but it's coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my radius of the cone, and because I can't see the scoring ring on the target, and when I'm looking through my peep, that's just going to be, it's going to be just a tan shadow. So what I'll do is I'll actually adjust myself to where when I'm aiming off the tip of that leaf, which is right here, my pin can sit on the corner of that leaf and the 12 ring is right behind it. Okay. So I've adjusted myself to give me a point of aim, otherwise you're just aiming at a silhouette. All right, sight set, footing's good. See the tip of that leaf?
Yep. Like you took
see where that arrow is?
Right above it. Now,
come check this out, everybody.
Now this aims at
take a step where I
26. So why is that it cuts that 5 yards off at the angle? Like what is it that happened? Because if you wouldn't have said that, I would have shot at 26. So.
Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that for people. Okay, so here's a way to think about cutting or how to angle compensate. So if we're shooting from a tree stand, let's just say right here is my target. We're way up here, right? We're shooting down. This distance all the way down, let's say that could be 40 yards in a line of sight. But the reality is your arrow is only affected by a distance of gravity horizontally. So gravity holding that arrow straight up and down from where we're shooting from, the real distance is from here to here. That's the distance you shoot for, because that's the distance your arrow is actually traveling on a horizontal plane. So it's not the line of sight distance. So it's just like if we were in a tree stand 100 yards up, but that deer was only 20 yards away from the base of the tree, we're shooting it for 20 yards because your arrow's only getting affected by that gravity horizontally. So we can't think of the full distance down off this cliff. What we think about is if that deer was straight up and level with us, which just look at, he's under that tree. So range the tip of that the tip of those leaves right there, straight above them. What do you get?
21. 21 and a half. You see we both using the Mavens too.
Yep.
Those new Maven RF1s.
Yep.
Shit.
That's
So,
it, dude.
And if you're a deer hunter like I am, if you shot a shot that was underneath you and you felt like I had the pin on them and I aimed it for exactly what the rangefinder said and you hit high or you might have missed over the top, and there it is. That just told me the solution to a couple of misses I've had in my hunting career, because I've always gone off what the rangefinder said and not thinking about how far they are from the tree and not me.
All right, dude. Wreck that arrow.
Damn near.
Just left. Nice job, dude.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you for the info, John. Like, that definitely just blew my mind, because my whole life my dad always said you aim and use the rangefinder. Never really hung out with a pro and learned, so we learned something today. .65 Gator. Oh, that breeze felt nice though. Coming out of the trees. For a flag, I took serious right wind blowing into me. So just gonna slow me down. Ladies and gentlemen, my first, not only total archery challenge, but outdoor target shooting anything, and we finished. There's only one target that we couldn't hit. I mean, we could have eventually, but I got tired. 3 arrows, that was enough. But we didn't do bad, you know. Definitely feel the cardio. In fact, I'm an athlete, helped me with the hikes, because that was a little bit of up and a lot of bit of down. So, but we're here at the finish. Now we just wait for each other to come get us. Next year, we kill it. Other than that, Nock On Total Archery Challenge. Thank you for having us. Let's get up out of here.